What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Mohawk Motors. My name is Jason. So, not necessarily working on a car today, but making it possible for myself to continue doing so through the winter. I'm going to try something I haven't done before, and I want to share that with you guys. But first thing I need to do, I'm getting my old barrel stove out of here. It's been a great stove. If you're on a tight budget, you can buy the kit for like 50 bucks, and you can usually find barrels for free. And that thing has kept it warm in this garage for, geez, 5 or 6 years now. It's been a great little stove. But I'm upgrading to this legitimate, new to me, wood stove. And what I want to try to do is also adapt/convert this to be able to burn waste oil. So I have an idea in my head. I think it'll work. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to make that happen. But like I said, first things first, we got to get the old one out of here. Oh yeah, she was done. Okay, so what I want to try to do here is, obviously, I've got a nice big firebox, and you can see where the flue pipe connects right up there. And what I'm thinking I want to do is, I want to rig a piece of hard line to kind of hang right here, and it'll just steadily drip my waste oil into the heart of the fire, what should be the hottest part of it right here. I think that'll work. Obviously, I'll still have to start it up with wood and get it going, but once I have a nice hot fire going, I'll be able to open my valve and start feeding it waste oil at a somewhat steady drip, and it should burn. That's my theory anyway. I think it'll work, and once the oil is burning, it should self-perpetuate. It should burn hot enough to just keep igniting more oil as it drips on. And then I'll just have to adjust the fire, the feed rate to keep the fire at the level that I want it. So for the outside portion of this thing, I'm gonna use my old fryer pot. It's gross inside. We don't use it to cook anymore. I got a newer one. But I can leave that sitting here on top of the stove. That'll preheat the oil to get it nice and to thin it out so it will flow better through. I have copper tubing. And this part mounts here on the back. And then I'll run my copper tubing in on the side here and then direct it down to where I want it to drip. And I'll probably attach some sort of bracket or something to hold it on the inside. But I want to get it tight enough through this metal that it doesn't leak. And this will allow me to do it, and I don't have to make any permanent modifications to the wood stove. So if it doesn't work or I don't want it anymore, I can just take this piece off, get a new one, and it'll just be a straight wood burning stove again. So I've got most of my plumbing done here. Inside the flue, it goes to a piece of steel tubing. It's just steel brake line. I'm not going to use it for anything else, so I used it for this. Then I have a flare and a union that connects to this copper tubing. And that'll run up to my little needle valve. Now this is just a standard little brass needle valve. You can get it at any hardware store. Goes into a reducer down to my 1/4 inch line. This is 3/8. Now I think what I'm gonna try, I don't think this pot will get hot enough to melt my solder. So I'm gonna try melting my copper tubing into my aluminum pot here. I'm gonna try soldering it. Hopefully that'll work. Hopefully it won't get too hot and melt the solder out of it, and then I have a big oil mess to clean up. Okay, I'm not great at soldering, but we'll see what happens. I've got the pot scuffed up, I've got the tubing scuffed up, I've got some flux rubbed in there, so hopefully we can get this to go. Okay, I think I've got this set. Better close that valve before I get a puddle of oil in this thing. So I would have liked to use some larger tubing. That's not what I had available. I've got some oil in here. I'm gonna check it and see if it starts to leak. But I wound up using a couple fittings that I had laying around. I don't even know what they're actually from. But I used those to seal it up. So the oil will come down through my little needle valve here, down into the flue pipe, and then over into the firebox. So now I need to get my flue run up and out, and then test fire. Pipe installed. Flue pipe is very straightforward. It literally just slides into itself, and then you put a couple screws in to hold it in place. I've had oil sitting in the feed bucket the entire time that it took me to do that, which was probably 25-30 minutes, and no drips, no leaks, no weeps, so that's good. The only thing left to do is put the rain cap on the flue, which I'll do that tomorrow when it's daylight. It's almost 8 o'clock now. It's too dark to be messing around on the roof. And give it a test fire. So that's burning really nicely, and it's already really warm in here. All right, everybody, pretty excited. I've been wanting to get this all hooked up and connected for quite a while now. Should keep me nice and toasty warm out here in the garage while I'm working on stuff. And I'll update you here in the future and let you know how it's working out. But for today, that's it. All right, everybody. So I've had my new stove hooked up with my waste oil system here for about a week. And so far it's working pretty good. I've got it running. It's on wood and oil right now. I just started it a little bit ago. So once this wood burns down to just coal, it'll be running on oil only. But as you can see, I mean, the oil running in there, I get a pretty good flame.
I'm not getting a lot of black smoke or anything out of the flue, so that tells me that I'm getting enough oxygen in there as well. And it puts out some heat. Even when the wood is gone and it's just running on oil, it keeps the stove nice and hot. And I find also that once it's been running for a while, I have to kind of crank the needle valve shut a bit, because as the oil gets thin, it wants to flow more easily. So I start out with it almost wide open, and then after it's been running for a little while, I close it down to only about a half a turn open, and that seems to work really well. But I'm really happy with it. Very simple, very easy to set up, and it lets me recycle the used oils that I have. I mean, I've got everything in there: engine oil, transmission oil, gear oil, brake fluid, like pretty much any of the combustible liquids except gas out of a vehicle I have in there. And so far it's working really well. I'm really happy with it. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much to all the new subscribers and everybody that's commenting and liking the videos. Love seeing that and interacting with you guys. And until the next video, take care.